Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, a juice. It is April the 18th, 2023, and today the topic is the God hole. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Happy Tuesday. I hope that you all had a great Monday. Mine was just fine. A few things did not go as planned yesterday, but it was a good day overall. I did a very insightful and awesome episode of the GSL Talk Show. I guess you all will see it in the future, but amazing young man with so much wisdom, and I think he will be inspiring for many. So yeah, I had that conversation yesterday. Outside of that, I tried to get some rest. Um, you know, try to make up for all these early mornings and whatnot. And because to be honest, Mondays are like my Saturdays, if that makes some sense, or maybe like Fridays. I don't know how they really explain it, but yeah, so yeah, I be trying to catch up over rest from the weekend and whatnot on Mondays. But anywho, had some meaningful conversations as well. Um, I won't go too deep, but I am being asked to assist someone with interpreting a dream, and I'm over here like, Lord, you made your girl an interpreter, um, and everything like that. So I need to seek the Lord more on that. So I had a conversation regarding that yesterday. A lot of little stuff, man. A lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, a lot of stuff still kind of up in the air. But yeah, that's what yesterday looked like. Now today, for those that tune in to the video version, y'all know that I'm recording much later than I intend to. But this concept of the God hole, y'all, it just really, I won't say it was a lot, because I mean, I'll just say I was going real deep. I'll just put it like that. It was going really deep today into this topic and seeing what the Lord, I guess, wanted to show me this morning in order to share with you all. And so, yeah, this concept of the God hole. Listen, I rebuke anything trying to close my throat up at this moment. I guess that's how you know something must be meant to be. But anywho, so the God hole. Has anyone ever felt like something was missing in their life? Like, whoever's listening to the sound of my voice, have you ever felt that way? Like something is missing, something is not right. I'm not, operating at my full potential. Any of those type of phrases. Have you ever felt that in life? I can truly say that I have. I have felt that in the past. And I guess with my heart and mind reflected on that today, I don't know what exactly, like, well, I mean, there's a few things, I guess. Actually, you know what? Thank you for the reminder, Lord. One thing that led me to start thinking about this morning was, I think it was after I did the prayer meditation. This thing I know, I think it's a song by the Eagles. Came into my heart and mind this morning, and it was "There's a hole in the world tonight." That song. Now I didn't know it was the world. I thought it was the heart. Until I looked up the lyrics, and apparently the lyrics say the world. It's a simple song. It's not too many lyrics or anything. It's not that intricate, but don't let there be a hole in the world tomorrow. That song. And so anyway, that was in my heart and mind. It just came into my heart and mind, and I took notice of it. At first I was just humming, and just kind of looking on social media and doing whatever I was doing. And I was like, oh, maybe I should take notice to maybe I should take notice to this. And so that's when I started to think about this concept of the God hole, because there is, I mean, I know I'm not the only one that has experienced this. And I mean, I actually read a blog post today of another individual talking about this. And it's the concept of um, us as humans trying to fill the empty void that we feel in life with everything outside of God, and finding that it's not going to fulfill us, then ultimately that leads us, or those that continue to seek and whatnot, it leads us back to the Lord. Because at the end of the day, this is an unquenchable fire or a void that cannot be filled by anything else. Even though we attempt to, we go through life attempting to fill that void in with whatever. You can fill in the blank, y'all. People, I mean, from food, drugs, sex, love, and whatever. Like, we try to fill the thing with all the other things. And then ultimately, those that I guess are called according to God and his purpose and whatnot, realize that the void cannot be filled by anything else but God. And so I went through that in my life. I went through that journey of trying to do that and then ultimately coming to that conclusion. And so, yeah, that's ultimately what led me to the topic today, just that song, as well as like just reflecting on my own journey and then also reading the blog post. And so I just kind of, I didn't even write that to share with you guys. I mean, you guys can Google stuff on your own, I guess. The main thing that I felt led to look into and share was like biblical references to this type of feeling, this whole feeling of emptiness or things like that. And so I was seeking, and I was familiar with, Solomon, of course, the wisest gentleman and whatnot. I was familiar with everything he had to say about vanity and vanity of vanities and vestation and all this type of thing, right? But I guess I thought it was in Proverbs. I thought all of that was in Proverbs, but apparently not. Apparently all of this is in Ecclesiastes when I went deeper and really started to look up like where these things were. And he spent from Ecclesiastes 1 to Ecclesiastes 12, just pretty much laying out everything that we could possibly ever think about as humans. And ultimately, he gave us the conclusion of, what our true purpose and whatnot is. And that's what ultimately my studies led me to this morning. Like, yes, I thought about this whole concept again, filling the God hole and the emptiness and all that type of stuff. And then ultimately I started to, seek like, well, not just say what is our purpose, but like something like that. That's the best way I can say it in this moment. And so, and that's what ultimately led me to the verses that I am sharing now. So let's get into it, y'all. The God hole. So 1 John 5:20, it says, and we know that the Son of God has come and has given us understanding so that we may know him who is true. And we are in him who is true. In his Son, Jesus Christ, he is the true God and eternal life. Listen, y'all, I was looking into a lot of different things. And I know there's this one thing I shared on our page, our GSL Facebook page. I came across it on Instagram, and it was this lady that was asking, I can't remember his name right now, but she was asking him like, well, how do you think that, your religion is correct when there's a lot of different religions out there and they all feel like they're correct, X, Y, and Z. And of course, he broke it down in the simplistic way that at the end of the day, we know they all can't be true. And according to, Jesus and everything he did, he proved himself to be what he said he was, or who he said he is, And again, maybe we all got to go deeper with that and go through our own journeys to get that understanding. But I mean, you guys can go and see it it should be like a post that's recent on our God, Sex, and Love Facebook. But regardless, that started to make me think about like, truth and all that type of stuff as well. I mean, again, when I was sitting here thinking about the God whole and everything, I was reminded of the verse that tells us that the truth is written on our hearts. Now the truth is written on our hearts. I also came across the verses, of course, I've shared all these before, but the verses that tell us that, basically everything around us is proof that there is God. And everything like that. I ended up going a little deeper as well. I went to what's it called? Gotquestions.org. I went there and ultimately ended up reading some different articles or different blogs or whatever that was centered around subjects like of course, the main topics, y'all. Like, if there's God, then why is there evil, and all of that type of stuff. And I mean, so there's a lot of resources and things out there to answer the questions that people have. But at the end of the day, just like the Bible is a great resource as well to answer all the questions that people have, it's like, are we willing to do that work and read? Are we willing to do that work and study? Things like that. Some of us are. I'm not going to say we not. I mean, here I am, since April 1st, 2020, sharing my studies. So I mean, there's humans out here studying, but at the same time, there's plenty that are out here just asking the questions, and deep inside we know the answer. Like, regardless of if someone else answers it or not, I believe that deep inside God has written those answers on our heart and mind, and it's up to us to receive it and accept it and things of that nature. But again, that's something I don't know if that's a totally different part of this conversation, but again, the God whole, I think it's important to, I guess, think about that aspect as well. So then, of course, like I told you all, the whole Go Deeper section is just Ecclesiastes. And I'm talking about when I put 1 through 12, that means the entirety of Ecclesiastes 1, the entirety of Ecclesiastes 2, and go on to 12. If you really want to go deeper about this concept of the God hole, as well as like what it looks like to try to do all the things, because Solomon had the means and whatnot to try to do all the things. And apparently he attempted to do all the things to fill in that void, and he came to realize that it all was vanity, is the way he described it. And so now he did it so we didn't have to, but there's people that we still go through life and we still try to do all the things. We still try to, build all the wealth and make all the houses and do all the things, thinking that that's going to fulfill us. But at the end of the day, what I'm finding is that doing the will of God is what ultimately fulfills you. But hey, let's go deeper. Let's see what else the Lord has to say. So then basically, to wrap that up, because I was like, well, does he finish it? Because I was like, I did start to read. I think I read and listened to Ecclesiastes 1 and 2. And then I was like, let me see how far this goes and how much he gets into it. And he really just went through all of it. Like I said, all of Ecclesiastes. So I ultimately looked at the end of 12, and it ends with I believe it's Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, and this is what it says: the end of the matter, all has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. So there it is, in plain, written simply, that this is our duty at the end of the day to fear God and keep his commandments. Now, again, this is the first commandment. This is like when it comes to what Jesus broke down to be like, what is the greatest of the commandments? This is the first thing he said. And then after that, he said, love your neighbors as you love yourself. And or love others as you love yourself, however you want to say. And those two things we still struggle with. Like, we struggle with all 10 commandments. I say this over and over again. We struggle with the 10. We struggle with the hundreds that the Israelites had. And we definitely struggle with just these two, of loving God and loving others. Like, even just broken down to two things, we still struggle. We still, again, it's like, again, trying to fill that God hole with other things. And unfortunate, I guess the unfortunate side of free will and things like that is that people do use their free will for evil. Again, we see that all around us, and we take issue with it because we're like, well, that's not right, X, Y, and Z. And then people go so far as to point to God and say, well, why isn't he doing something about it? But not forgetting that, again, when it came to the flood, that was another thing I came across today in reading and whatnot as well, is, we talked about Noah and how people take issue with I guess, the babies that may have been taken away in the flood and X, Y, and Z and things like that. Because to us, that doesn't seem like justice. That doesn't seem right or good to us, right? Not knowing that, again, God's mind is not like our mind. And obviously, he knows more than we do, things like that. Like I said yesterday, Father knows best at the end of the day. But we, in our, I guess, humble minds or whatever, think we know best, think we know better than God, or things like that. When we only know a little bit, to be honest. And I think any wise person would admit that they only know a little bit, that they don't know all. But hey, that's just, I don't know. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong or whatever. But I just think that a truly wise person, like someone that thinks they know everything, you already failed, really. I mean, but hey, that's something else. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, so I ended up going deeper with that concept, and I got led to Ephesians 2:10. It says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." So, at the end of the day, this is our purpose. And if we're not walking in our purpose, then we feel the emptiness. And like I said, I've been there. I felt the emptiness when I was not walking in the will of God, or walking in the things that God had for me to do. Like, again, when I wasn't doing this years ago, I was feeling the emptiness. I was feeling like I'm missing something. There's something I'm supposed to be doing. And God was putting on my heart and mind, you need to pray more. You need to study more. You need to da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I know. And, and I kept putting it to the side, and then kept the emptiness. But then now that I am walking in the will, and now that I am, focused more on the things that the Lord wants me to do and things like that, there is a, peace that surpasses all understanding. There is, at this point, like I said, I don't know if I've just been spoiled or whatever, but I'm just all about doing the will of God. I'm just all about like what's going to bring him and me joy at this point in my life and things like that. And so the things that don't bring him and me joy, I'm questioning it like hardcore. Like, I'm still going back and forth about the things that I've been sharing with you all over the past few days, because, again, every good idea is not a God idea. And I'm, seeking the Lord and trying to make sure I'm making, the good and God decisions and whatnot and stuff. So, but anyway, but that's just me being honest about, again, being a human. And I'm not sitting here trying to act like I'm perfect. Yes, I do feel like I'm more on track with what the Lord wants me to do in my life. But at the same time, I'm still trying to figure things out too. But regardless, we're all made and we're created for his work. We're all his creation. And at the end of the day, he prepared a way for us. And when we're off that path and when we're not doing that will, I believe that we all experience the God hole. We've experienced the emptiness, the unfulfillment. And even if we try to fulfill those things with something else, we go back to feeling empty. Again, Solomon said it all in his thing. He's like, I built the houses and all that stuff and realized it was vanity. I got all the gold and all this and realized it was vanity. I tried to get enjoy the wine and the lust of life and all this type of stuff and realized it's vanity. Like, at the end of the day, we still do all those things today. All of us, we still go and reach and try to go for all the things. And then ultimately, those that are wise realize that it's vanity at the end of the day, realize that there's nothing much to it. And I think one of the verses that I read this morning, I guess it's kind of funny in this moment, but I'm just thinking about a man saying these things. So it's funny to me because I'm an actor and I think about delivery. But anyway, basically, he was saying like he just started to despise all the things he had done, because at the end of the day, it's like it's only going to be for the next person. So it was all vain at the end of the day. Like, it's not, again, I know they say there's a quote that always tells us that, we can't take it with us when we're gone and things of that nature. And so, and I tell y'all all the time, God convicted me with this back in the day. Like, hey, at the end of the day, what you do for me is what's going to last. Anything else outside of what you do for me is not going to last. And I'm like, well, I want to do something that's going to last. Like, and that's where y'all see me here today, and so it's just, I mean, I guess, of course, there's going to take a change of heart and mind and wisdom and all that to get to that level of understanding, but it's available. We can do it. It's right there written. Again, someone else did the whole account for you. But if you have to be someone that has quote unquote false sense, like my husband would say, then hey, you're going to go through life and try to fill that void, the God hole. You're going to try to fill the God hole with all other things, and you're going to realize that it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, none of that matters. And hopefully it won't be too late for you to realize that's what it comes down to at the end of the day too. Like, hopefully, you have time to realize that and then start to focus on the will of God. But not all of us get that time. Not all of us get that opportunity and things like that. So yeah, it's just something to think about. Anywho, dude. We got Exodus, I think, is the next one. Or no, let's go to Proverbs. So it's Proverbs 19 and 21. It says, many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. Again, I just said that in so many words about what the Lord had presented to me all those years ago. And that was the change the trajectory of my life. I would say that got me on here doing the GSL and the juice and everything else, because again, y'all could be out here doing other things, creating, whatever, what I'm saying? I could be out here doing a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, again, for me, I just was like, I guess I felt convicted by that. I wanted to do something that meant something at the end of the day, something to help the next person be better than I was and am, that's all. I mean, I can go on and on, but I'm going to keep going. So here we go. We got Exodus 9 and 16. But for this purpose, I have raised you up to show you my power, so that my name may be proclaimed in all the earth. So I mean, at the end of the day, this is the will of God. Like, he wants his name to be proclaimed over all the earth. And those of us that are willing to do that, he allows us to do that. And everything like that. And again, and see, I was going to say, if we're not doing that, then you feel the emptiness of the God hole. And that could be true. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe there's some people that don't feel the emptiness, right? I'm sure there's some people out there, again, if you have reprobate minds and things like that, you probably don't feel the emptiness of the God hole. You just are constantly, or you don't know that's what it is. You're just still constantly trying to fill your life and fill that empty void with all the things and stuff like that. But hey, hopefully this helps us all this morning to understand that, okay, this feeling is not new. Like, I felt it, the people in the Bible felt it. I'm sure those before them and those after us will feel this empty void. And in order to truly fill it, FILL, then you will need Jesus at the end of the day. That's how you truly fill that void. Again, you can attempt to do all the things that Solomon did. Try to get all the money, try to get all the whatever, try to fill it with all the things. But at the end of the day, that empty void can only be filled by God. And I mean, that's the juice. That is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Titus 2 and 11. It says, for the grace of God that bringeth salvation hath appeared to all men, teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this present world. Friends, I hope that you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love. You're the littles of inspiration, not juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you to those of you all that was popping in and popping out. Again, I hope that you guys got what you needed. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for, again, listening, watching, subscribing, sharing, all those wonderful things. Last time I looked, we are dangerously close to 500 subscribers, y'all. So thank you to those that are subscribing and those that are watching. We hit another milestone yesterday. I think it said we had 2,500 views or something like that. So thank you all for that. You know, obviously, you know, we're getting people coming on the channel. You know, we're getting people watching the content. Now we just got to keep y'all watching the content. So I guess that's the goal and whatnot. Something we got to work on. I'm trying to clean up things on the channel and whatnot to let y'all know, you know, the main playlist and different things like that. So, you know, again, shout out to the International Dream Team that is helping me keep this thing going and flowing. Thank you to anybody that supports us monthly and things like that. It's greatly appreciated. And, you know, again, it helps us keep, again, things going and flowing, but it's ultimately helping the kingdom as well. So thank you all for that. And yeah, we're going to see what the Lord do in regards to all the things. Of course, I still have a lot of things in my heart and mind. I got to go seek the Lord. I got to go seek the Lord about how to interpret this dream. I got to, you know, seek the Lord about this other thing that I'm keep going back and forth about. So those of you all that pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, please keep me in prayer. If you don't pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, that's okay. You know, just, I mean, you know, I appreciate what, you know, that's okay. I appreciate you though. But yeah. That's all, y'all. Today's Tuesday. I'm supposed to, I guess the meeting that didn't happen yesterday, I guess it's gonna happen today. So that's what and then also NJ's classes today as well. We're gonna see what the Lord do. But yeah, that's all that's going on. But I hope y'all have a wonderful Tuesday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye.